Today we're going to work on this wall. We have two sides with facing stones and we have the filling in the middle. It's a common and traditional wall here in Sweden. And the stones, they are not being cut or trimmed in any way, so they're probably just taken off the ground and put together to this wall. When we come to a wall, we want to examine it and we want to document. So first, we shall identify the character and the material. So, what do we have here? We can look at the size of the stones. What kind of stone is it? Is it limestone? Is it gneiss? Is it granite? What type of stone is it? Is it its natural shape, or is it cut in some way? Are there some important stones that we want to get back in the same place?
Here we will need to get them to the same place, these big stones, because we don't have any other stones.
That's a good idea to try to put them back where they were, so we know that they fit. How tight is the wall made? Is it very tight joints and not so big holes in it? That's some things you can look at as a character of the wall. Then there's a damage on the wall. Then we have to identify what has caused this damage. We have to know that, so we don't make the same mistake again. We have heard here that there was a bus who drove into the wall, but we have another problem here. Can you see what it is? Yes, this surface is leaning outwards, and that's not okay. It should be flat or maybe a little inwards. So this stone is a problem. If we build something here, it will come out again. So if we should do this properly, this has to be lifted up in its original position, like this. And some other common damages is that it's water in the ground that makes the wall collapse. It can be trees. The wall can be very old, it's old and it needs to be restored. And the wall can be poorly made, a bad made job. So these are common causes of damage. And then we have to see, is this a damage that is the wall moving and it's an ongoing damage, or is it an old damage that, yes, it's like this and nothing more will happen? That we have to know. And then to know that, you could, if you think the wall is moving, like the big wall over there, we think it's moving, coming out. And then you can take a measure between two stones, mark here, take a measure, and for a few years, next year and 2-3 years, you take the same measure. Is it different? Then you know it's moving. If the old wall is poorly made, what should we do about that? Shall we rebuild the whole wall, or shall we make it as bad as the rest of the wall, or how should we do it? So when we start to work, we make a site risk assessment. Common injuries are that we pinch or crush fingers and feet, and that is when you move a stone and you hit another stone with a finger in between. It goes very fast and it doesn't take much. No. So you have to think very carefully when you move a stone, always, where are your fingers? Yeah. And gloves, you should have gloves today when we work with the stones.
Then it's always almost safer to move stones by yourself, not with others, because you know where your hands are, but not your partner.
Yes.
So then it's very important that you communicate if you are taking a big stone.
Yes. So you say, now I move it like this, so the other person knows what's happening. We have also a possibility that stones fall down. Then we have heavy lifting. So it's very important that we don't lift stones like this, or hold a stone like this and twist the body. Always, you can look up, that makes your back straight when you lift, and keep the stone very tight next to the body.
Into the body.
Never like this. You use the brain, not the muscles, to move stones. You can use the weight, use crowbars. You can move big stones without effort.
We don't lift them, we move them.
Yes, we don't lift stones.
Only the stones that we can handle.
Slippery ground, I don't think that's a problem today, but that could be a possible risk. But also, if the stones lie on the ground, you can stumble on them. So that's important to keep a work area without stones next to the wall. Then we have number 3, dismantling. We ask ourselves, how big area do we have to dismantle? We take this as an example. We want to move this stone, so we have to put these stones must be put down and that.
Yeah. And here we have also 2 stones which are on the other side.
Yeah.
Who should fit there as well. So
yeah.
we need to take down the stones next to them, so we safety can take down all these.
Yes.
As well. We have to make space. So.
Yes, and the wall is this filling. The whole wall is full of filling, and we have to take that out as well. And we put the filling in separate piles, and we're going to put it on over there. And the facing stones, it's in English, facing stones.
Yeah.
We put them over here and on the other side, but with a free path here.
I like, if I can, I like to take it, move it, like it, because you think you remember how it laid, but it goes. So maybe layer by layer, I have a row with stones facing the same side out. I like to put them down as they laid, so I remember how it was, because and take a lot of pictures, because you can't have enough pictures. But sometimes if it's very big stones and not so many, then you can number it.
You can write this yellow crayon on the back side or something like that.
Yeah. A1, A2, A3, B1, B1. And so I have a system, and I sometimes write it now, what you call draw the wall and number it on a paper. It's not often I need to mark every stones, because you can't lay it exactly as it was. If it's stones like this, if you have some millimeter different, the whole wall changes. So the top stones, if you have many layers, it's very hard. So the Stones I mark often are trimmed, so they fit very well together.
If you put down the facing stones, you want to see all sides of them, because when you are walling, you want to see the shape of every stone. Not put them in a pile. But the filling stones can be in pile. That's okay. And then when we have dismantled, we can document, taking pictures, see how does it look inside, what's the material inside. There we are working, we try to take away the moss and lay it, so we maybe can put it back on top. Because when you're moving the stones, this will fall down and be in the way all the time, so it's good to take it away. And it looks better if you can have little moss back on. So now we're going to discuss which stones we want the machine to move for us. So we know we want this stone to be free. So we have to take down the stones on top of that. This, we can use the machine for this. It's possible to move it by hand as well, but what do you think? If we are two and build up with the poles and drag it out, then we can move it by slide hand. It down. If I take down all the weight on top of this one, what will happen to that? Will it come? That's why I made. Maybe we can put a stötta here, so we can. So it's safer to take, because all the weight here will press down that, so it's in place now, but I don't know what happened when I take that and that and that. That could make the wall collapse. And so sometimes I used to secure it with
like this, so it won't tip out.
Yes.
I won't. Oh, we should do it better. But,
It's okay. So that means we don't use the machine here.
I don't think so, because we have some bigger
Oh.
stones here.
Okay, so here we can, but do you think we should use the machine for this? It's quite big.
That one we can use the machine.
Yes.
I think this is a nicer form to move, because it's more rectangular and it's easier to. But that one you don't know where to hold or to, because it's so irregular. And I lift and turn. And now me and you can, if you push here and lift here, then we lift it around. Be careful with the fingers. Yeah. And now, because if you push down here, then you can easily tip it over, and this is a nice form to move. Now we can have the slide. Yes. So somebody maybe should stand and push there because of the weight, so it don't slide. Then we can take here. And now wait, we can do like this.
Yeah.
So, and now it by itself will. Yeah. So you can take one side and I. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So this is a much safer way to take it down instead of lift it. But shapes like this are very easy because you can take it. It's easy to move. But if you have a cube, it weighs the same on all sides, so it's more difficult to move it. Yeah, because so it don't slide when I lift, so then it looks easy, but you stop it here and then it's easier to lift. And you can put one thing under here, so you make the gradings on the stone, so it's easier to get up on the. So that one was laying.
Was that the second layer from the top?
Yeah, is that the first?
That's the first layer.
And it was on top of this one. But that stone should be in the bottom in the hole there. And then we have 1, 2, and 3. So, but it should lay here.
Covering
That one. So now I have it there. Maybe the excavator could do its job and lift that one. Jättebra.
And now we want to put this one.
Yeah. It was that one first. So beside that one.
Beside that one.
Yeah. I think so. Or so roll it on the. But be careful with your feet. We want all the soil and dirt away because it's only hold water. So and now we have a wrong side because we have the facing side. So
Like that?
yeah.
Yep.
And I think it was like this.
Yeah.
And I believe we don't know how these stones were laying in that wall.
No.
But I believe this one was first and that on top.
Yeah.
because the shape of that stone fits on top of the stone in the bottom. You can see here you have lots of space between the stones. It wasn't so much space in the beginning, I believe. The bottom stones maybe have been pushed out, and because you can fit hands and all. So here you can see the result of the wall getting wider.
Should we take off those in the middle there and see?
Yeah, as long as we can, but then we have to be careful so so that doesn't move. So if you're taking smaller stones away, you should always pay attention to the bigger ones. But you can test it. It lies, and there's almost nothing who is touching it, so it lays on its own.
So then it's
So
safe to
it's
remove.
yeah, this one we can take, as long as that one lays still. But now we see it wasn't that important to put that one there, but it's balancing on the edge in the middle, so it's a little bit now it's only touching here, but maybe it's safe, but safety first. So we put but now it's not standing there, but we have the pole, this one, and so you don't stand close to it. But you know, when we are this is why it's difficult to have short courses on stone walling, because 60% of the time it takes to repair a wall is just taking it down, and prepare to build the building is not that much. It takes lesser time to build up again than to safely put it down, take it down.